Hallo, ik ben Carla Galstaun. Ik houd mij bezig met feng shui. En ik geef consulten en lezingen en workshops. En omdat ik dit werk doe, is het ook van belang natuurlijk om mijzelf wel zuiver te houden en mijn energie te laten blijven stromen. En schoon te maken qua energie. En dat doe ik al sinds 5 jaar, onder andere met Ho'oponopono. En dat is een methode uit Hawaii. En het is een hele oude manier om te vergeven en schoon te maken van energie. En ik heb de eer om op dit moment in Amsterdam Ihaleiakala te ontmoeten en met hem te praten. Hij zit hier bij mij op Kleurnet in Amsterdam. Hallo, Ihaleiakala.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Nice. I'm honored to have you
Thank
here.
you very much. Yes.
I met you about 5 years ago in Amsterdam as well, and you were teaching the Ho'oponopono. Can you explain to the people at home what it means?
Sure. Well, the Hawaiian, the Ho'oponopono simply means to correct an error, and the error is a thought form in your own mind. And so this process is about how to go into yourself and erase that thought form which creates the disease, death, dying, back pain, whatever. Yeah.
So most of our problems are from our experiences and thoughts and our memory.
All of our problems for the Hawaiians are an inside job. It's always inside. There's never anything that starts outside. Always inside. So if somebody comes to me with a back pain, I have to ask myself, what is going on in me that back pain should show up? And so I just work on me. You know?
Yeah. So you work on yourself if
Only.
somebody comes with a problem.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I work only on myself because I'm the problem. The person just shows up as a means of telling me that there's something going on in me that I need to take care of, which is just a thought form that can be erased.
That's why you meet the person with a problem.
That's right.
So
everybody who shows up has something to tell you to work on. Yeah.
So as a therapist or as a psychologist or whatever, a healer.
Yeah.
We all have these. We made all these problems so that people could come to us
and get paid.
And get paid as well.
Yeah.
So if I work with people, I've had a lot of problems that I have to solve.
You ever notice that every time there's a problem, you are always there?
I'm always there with a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the process is only taking 100% responsibility. Something's going on that can be erased. Once that's erased, then the problem empties from you, and the other person will heal. Yeah, it's only you.
It's only me.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because it's totally different than the people here in the West or in Europe.
Yeah, you have to realize that people here are just showing us up to give us one more chance, to erase.
Yeah. And so you come from Hawaii, and
I was born there.
You're born there, and the Ho'oponopono comes from Hawaii.
Ho'oponopono comes from. It first came from the island of Kauai. Yeah, that's where it first came.
And is it a new method? Is it an old method? I understood, like in Hawaii they have the huna and the kahunas. Are you a kahuna?
No, I don't think I'm a kahuna. I don't know anybody that's a kahuna. Yeah, people.
That's from the past.
Yeah, for the Hawaiians of a long time ago, thousands of years ago, they were their own kahunas, their own healers. Yeah, right now we're always looking for somebody to help us, but we're looking at the wrong place. Yeah,
you're looking outside.
Always an inside job. So something can happen with the camera. The lights can go out. So the question is, what's going on here? This is why it's so important to come in peace. Otherwise, things will happen, and then you have to be responsible for them.
Yeah. So you have to solve the problem.
Yeah, but nice to solve it before it shows up.
And how do you do that? Solve the problem before it shows up.
You come empty-minded, so you don't come with something that will cause problems.
Yeah. And how do you empty your mind?
Well, in the training that we do, there are like maybe 40, 45 different processes to do that. But the basic process is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Once you take that responsibility, then there's this force in you, the source that comes down and erases all those things that create the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't take responsibility, then the problem can't be solved. Yeah?
So it doesn't make any sense if I ask you for forgiveness if I don't say I'm sorry.
One more time?
It doesn't make any sense if I ask you for forgiveness if I can't say I'm sorry?
I suppose that, but more important, I should say it. And not so much to you, but to this part of me that can heal me.
Oh, so
Yeah.
if I have a problem with somebody, I say I'm sorry to myself.
Yeah, you're sorry to that source who can erase it.
Aha.
The intellect cannot erase. See, in America, we have we prize two things: ideas and thinking, and both of them are poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking poisons you. Yeah. So this idea is saying, I don't know what's going on, but I notice that I'm here and there's a problem. I'm sorry, please forgive me. And then there is this release or the erasing of the thought that created that.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is rooted in thought. There's no problem can occur unless it's a thought replaying, just like the television set.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they can't play without a tape, huh?
Yeah. And so, but we're full of thoughts. I mean,
Yeah.
my head is full of thoughts.
We're loaded.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of work to do then.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah. So like when I walk through the streets of Amsterdam, I'm watching my thoughts. So I know if I say, "Wow, there goes somebody who look," and then you get to erase that, or you have a judgment about the Dutch, you get to erase that. So it's 100%. It's a full-time job. That's all we're here to do.
So the goal is to be empty-minded?
The goal is to be not only empty, but that makes you one with God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be empty is to be one. Once you're one, you don't need anything, because everything you need will show up. The right person,
Mm-hmm.
right idea, the right relationship.
You go with the flow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you can't go with the flow if a thought plays, because then it dams the thought process, and it stops, and you're stuck. And that means you're in hell, yeah?
Yeah.
That means you have to effort, you have to... Yeah, us Hawaiians are not very good at efforting, yeah.
So the effort is more work than...
Well, the efforting really represents thinking, because you're trying to figure out what's going on. You'll never know.
You never understand anyway.
Never. The intellect... I've been a psychologist for over 35 years. I work with people who killed people, murdered people, raped people. We never solve those problems because we keep thinking it's your problem, but it's really mine. If I'm willing to clean it on this side, then patients get well, they go home.
Mm.
Like in Hawaii, it cost about $150,000 to have one in a state institution. But if you were one of those, and I was 100% responsible, then you could go home, yeah, because I would be clean here, and then you would get well.
So this is your experience. You worked in a hospital.
Oh yeah.
And in jails.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, with the worst. I worked in a ward for several years. People who are not only mentally ill, but they had committed crimes like murder and rape. But as I was willing only to work on myself and leave them alone, then many of them went home.
You would never talk to them?
No. Why would you want to talk to them when you're the problem?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice
Yeah.
Way to look at it, because here people are so busy to talk about problems all the time.
Just like us Americans, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they become bigger and bigger, probably by.
So the health system gets bigger. People don't. You got AIDS. You got all this. It'll never be healed unless people are willing to be 100% responsible. Yeah.
So we're all 100% responsible for ourselves.
But if we come in peace, you'll notice that everything around you looks peaceful. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I have just little experiences like that.
Oh,
Very
okay.
small ones.
Okay.
And then I feel like I'm going with the flow, and it feels great. I really
something?
feel happy.
This is what the Hawaiians call ease, where it becomes easy. Life just sort of happens, and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And then you notice there's a block. Then you say, okay. And then you begin the Ho'oponopono. And then you'll remove the block, which is just a thought, and then you're back into the flow. But it's easy to do, but you have to be relentless. You have to be willing to do it moment by moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if people come and do the course that you are giving a course
Yes.
here this weekend,
Yes.
or no, next weekend,
Yes.
15th or something in
Yeah.
June. And so if people come and learn the course, they what do you teach them?
What we will teach them is basically how they can do the most important thing in their life, and that's to take good care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they will learn how to heal themselves without having to wait up on somebody else. So if they're in a relationship that has problems, then they will know it's just here, and by working on here, then the relationship will clear.
Mm-hmm.
Too often we keep thinking it's the other person. So we're going to teach them how they can take good care of them and watch everybody around them heal. Watch the plants heal, the skies heal, people heal, but it won't heal if we keep thinking it's out there. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But it's very simple to learn, but hard to do. In other words, it's like learning how to open a door, but most of the time we refuse to do that because the thinking is we would rather be right and dead. Yeah,
we want to be in our right, and then we think we are winning, but
yes.
we are losing.
Oh, yeah. People end up with heart attacks, strokes. Like in America, 3 or 4 out of 7 Americans will end up in a nursing home by the time they're 70.
Uh-huh.
That's sad.
It's the same in Holland, I think.
Really? Oh, you mean that you have thinkers here too?
Lots of thinkers.
Oh,
I think the
okay.
whole West is full of thinkers.
Oh, I see. Thank goodness there's none of that in the studio. Yeah?
No,
okay.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And how is it in Hawaii? Are the people different than in the United States? Or
in Hawaii, it's much more difficult to teach this process.
Why? It
Hawaii,
originated in Hawaii?
Let's see, we Hawaiians have to do more cleaning, huh?
It comes from there, so you have more responsibility?
Yeah, historically, Hawaiians used to come from being willing to be 100%, but times have changed. Now we blame the government, we blame our mothers, we blame... Yeah. Blame doesn't work.
Yeah. So, but I think the people are getting more and more conscious now, so do you think it's getting better with people?
Probably more so in Holland than in Hawaii.
Yeah?
Sure. Hawaii has probably the most educated, of all the states in our country, Hawaii has the highest level of education, which is a problem because we train people to think instead of being 100% responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking and being 100% responsible don't go together. They're like oil and water, they don't mix. So
if you're not thinking so much, you can be 100% responsible.
Absolutely.
But the difference then, if I try to find a way, is I think the difference then is that you react in a moment and not by thinking first and maybe take 2 days to think it over.
See, this process is you're saying to yourself, I'm only here to be whole again. Well, you can't be whole if you're always judging, blaming, making so. You have to be willing then to say, what's going on in me that I don't feel whole? I feel angry, annoyed, irritable, I don't have any money. This lady, I'm in a relationship, she's really a pain in the butt. And then you go, oops, it's just me. And as you begin to work on yourself, you notice the right people show up. The woman you're with gets a little bit more caring and loving. You go, oh, it was only me after all, huh?
Yeah, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
It sounds very easy, but it's not.
Not easy. Easy to learn, hard to do.
Hard to do, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to. In other words, one of the processes that we teach people is a process called turning on the light. So let's say somebody's screaming at me. Then in my mind, I can mentally say I turn on the light switch, and then that light switch is supposed to come through me, clean me up, and as it cleans me up, you get quieter and quieter. But once the screaming starts, it's hard to get to the light switch. It's hard to get to the cleaning.
Forget.
Well, not so much you forget, but you're stuck.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, you're stuck in this being angry, and you can't get out. This is what the Hawaiians call falling from grace.
Falling from grace, beautiful. Yeah.
But it's tough to do. It's easy to learn. So I wouldn't say to anybody to come and take this training. It's not for you have to be courageous to say, oh, it's just me.
It's me. Yeah, that's a difficult one to say, especially when I'm angry.
Yeah. Yeah, but you see what happens, more and more people around the world are doing this process. So while you and I are sitting here, there may be somebody's cleaning somewhere else in the world, which then people will get more inspired. They find themselves more peaceful because more people are cleaning, taking responsibility. Yeah?
So it makes it easier for other people. The more people are doing it, the easier it becomes.
So we just did the first training in Argentina. So Mabel, who's the coordinator in California, will be going down there. So I just came back from Hawaii. I did a training, so more and more people are being responsible.
But there are only, I remember there are only 5 coordinators in the whole world to teach. How many teachers do you have?
We must have 12, at least 12 coordinators now.
12.
New York, Pennsylvania, Albuquerque, Arizona, now Argentina. There.
There's one in Amsterdam. You're lucky in Holland. We have
Gerda
van der Linden.
Yeah, and she's been doing it for quite some time. I have to give her credit.
Yeah, nice. She's a beautiful lady, and she's quite dedicated.
So
and
we're fortunate to have her.
Nice. I think we're lucky in Amsterdam to have her here.
You're real lucky.
Yeah. Otherwise, we had to go all the way to Hawaii. So, can you tell me some more about Hawaii and
Hawaii? The word Hawaii, it has a unique rhythm, and that everything has to have a right name. It has an incorrect name. I had a case, for example, where this child was manic depressive. So the mother called me, and as I was doing my cleaning, I was responsible. I heard in my mind that this girl has a wrong name.
The wrong name.
Wrong name. And so the problem was in the name. So as I was cleaning, I heard the correct name. But since the mother did not ask me, I didn't give it to the mother because it would be an invasion. She would have to actually ask. Otherwise, we're always trying to say, well, you could use this, and we can. But the word Hawaii means the breath and the water of the divinity. Hawaii.
The breath and the water of divinity.
The breath of life and the water of life of divinity. So Hawaii is very important in terms of the purpose it serves, to bring peace. And so that's basically what the Ho'oponopono is to bring peace, which means empty mind, no judgment, no anger, no thinking, nothing going on.
And I think Hawaii is also in the past has been the place where people could breathe the best in the world. You hear these stories about Hawaii in the past.
I suppose that's so if you went to Ihaleiakala or Mauna Kea. But Hawaii, like every place else, has its problems. And so I think people were willing to be 100% responsible. I think you would see the difference.
Yeah. I heard this story about Hawaii that when in the past, this is maybe very long ago, that there were villages, and when they had a problem, one village felt bad about the other village, and they had a fight, and they wouldn't come together and fight about it. They wouldn't come together and talk about it. They would stay in the villages and start breathing. And then after hours or days of breathing, they would come together and then try to solve the problem. But then half the problem is gone already.
It's like jet lag. This process you can teach yourself so that you have absolutely no jet lag. There are certain processes you can do. So problems like jet lag, those things are self-induced.
So you used that when you came over from Hawaii?
So we feel tired but not fatigued.
Nice.
We love being here. Mabel is here for the first time. She is enjoying it.
You have been here more often, at least once.
Maybe twice already. So this is probably my third time.
So are you teaching only in Amsterdam, or are you?
I don't teach anymore. So I mean, I don't teach at home anymore. Well, I should be more careful about that. Let's say I teach less, and so by being invited, this is one of the few times this year anyway that I'm going to be doing teaching
in Amsterdam. So that's special.
Well,
I remember I had my first course from you.
Oh,
that was in '69 or no, '96. I think 96.
That's what Herta was saying. And
Well, I don't. Well, can you tell me something? How do you look at people? I mean, what I hear, what you hear most of the Ho'oponopono is that you have different selves in a person. Like you have.
Yeah. Each being, whether it's a wind or the sun or a human being or a grain of sand, has a unique identity.
An identity.
And it has three cells, the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. So the Ho'oponopono is really about finding out your identity so that you have this ability, instead of looking outside, which is none, you can actually talk with God or whatever, or Buddha, or what's inside of you. So this process is about you coming to know who you are, and through that process going, wow, maybe this world isn't so bad. And as you get cleaner, you get more whole, more peaceful, then you just become more appreciative. You're more loving and caring. Yeah. Yeah.
So you have different names for these different levels of consciousness.
The Hawaiians have in English the unipili, which the Hawaiians call it, is the subconscious of the mind, and that subconscious holds all the problem. So when you're angry, it's that part of you, that child part of you, and it has no discretion. When it gets ticked off, it really gets ticked off. Now, when that happens, there's the conscious part of you, what the Hawaiians call uhane. The uhane has a choice now. The uhane can say, I'm responsible, and I'm going to make my child peaceful by doing this cleaning, or the uhane can be willful and say, it's your problem, not my problem. So the uhane looking for a blame outside instead of knowing that it's inside. So the uhane, or the intellect, has this ability to make a decision, a choice, whether to be 100% responsible or not. And most of the time, the intellect's looking for blame, so it doesn't get around to that. And then there's a spiritual part of you, what we call superconscious, perfect. That part of you is perfect, always caring. The mother can be intellectual, the child can be angry, and that part of you says, I love you anyway. And that part of you is perfect, yeah? So it's always connected to that creative force in you. So you have then this creative force, you have this spiritual force, you have this intellectual force, you have this emotional force. If you can get them all working together, like tuning up an instrument, then when the music is played, it's played beautifully. But if one is out of tune, then it just sounds sour. Terrible, yeah.
So you have to be really aware of yourself, where your problem is lying.
Because as soon as you experience a problem like blame or anger, annoyance, everything is out. The light goes out. You feel, and then you're groping now. You don't know what the problem is, and then the intellect takes over and says you're the problem, not me. And then because you're the problem, now we have police we got to bring in to keep us from fighting. We have hospitals because now we're angry, and so we get heart attacks. I mean, it's very costly if you don't know who you are. The whole system goes into.
So that's the most important, to understand who you are, and then
it
take care of yourself.
And then finding out that when you take good care of yourself, everybody else gets taken care of, and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if this room is dark and you turn the light on, it'll get turned on for everybody. If the room is dark and nobody turns on the light, then we're all bumping, the equipment goes over. And most of the time we're in the dark, yeah? Yeah, most of the time we're sick, dead. So this process is awakening yourself. Yeah.
So this is the hope. You can do the Ho'oponopono to clear yourself and be clean and clear and forgiving to yourself.
Yeah, and in that process, it clears everything else. It's like walking into a dark room and you decide to be in your mind 100% responsible. So as you clean, the light comes on, but not only does it come on for you, it comes on for the whole room, comes on for Amsterdam, comes on for Holland, comes on for the world, comes on to the cosmos.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I do feng shui. This is a Chinese way of looking at the energy in your house and your surroundings. But, I mean, you can do so many things to your house, but if you don't take care of yourself,
absolutely,
that's a problem.
I'm going to tell you something interesting. When you get a line, I don't care what position your house is, it'll get aligned.
Yeah.
Automatically. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed it maybe since 2 months. And you know, I've been doing a lot of work to clear myself. I mean, I'm not ready yet, but I'm going on, and my house feels a lot better. And it had been a problem for a long time.
Do you own a car too? Do you have a car?
No, I borrow a car a lot of the time.
Because not only will your house have the right position, but your furniture, the glasses, the water system, everything will move spiritually. It can look like it's not moving at the physical level, but spiritually it'll move it into a correct alignment. So you don't have to do... See, the problem with this is too easy. People want to effort. They feel like they got to learn formulas. But this process is only about allowing the light in you to look to whatever darkness and erase it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, the Chinese said this also. You know, the intention is the most important. So, if your intention is to be clear and clean and forgiving, and caring, then that's the first thing. But then, you know, not everybody is ready to do those things. So do you do healing with the Ho'oponopono?
No, you got to be careful about that. So let's say I meet somebody who says to me, the Ho'oponopono, it's just yuck. It doesn't work. And the question I have to ask myself, what is going on in me that this should occur? So it has nothing to do with anybody. So for me, as long as I'm being responsible, the right people will take the training, because you don't want the wrong people in the room. You don't want people in there because somebody persuaded them, and they get in there and the whole room goes crazy because they're in a place they don't want to be. So this Ho'oponopono is about getting yourself aligned, and then the right people will show up for the training.
Yeah.
The right people will show up walking by you so you get to clean. Then you find out there's a lot of Argentinian restaurants. Now you can eat from that. Yeah.
So the most important thing is not to think you have to do something.
You don't have to do anything.
But, you know, let it happen.
Yeah.
And it happens anyway.
Yeah. And the way to let it happen is always to be clear. You have to be clear. Once your mind is empty, then you're allowing the divinity to do it. But if you're thinking and coping and persuading, you're going to be... It's hell to pay. I remember doing a training years and years ago. We had probably maybe over 100 people. It was not a training that was enjoyable, because you had people in there that got persuaded to come, and so you're looking for trouble when people are controlled to come.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't understand why people should come if they don't want to come, but maybe that happens.
Surprised.
It might
My
happen
mother
anyway.
came. She liked it. She told me I should come. So the woman shows up and goes,
You were persuaded to come to the Ho'oponopono?
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
No, I'm saying that's what happens. You have to... the Ho'oponopono, see, one of the criticisms we had, at least in Hawaii, is we don't persuade people.
No, but good.
Yeah, we say to people, here it is. If you want to take that part of it, that's fine. But we don't say, listen, you should take it because you need it. Yeah? We don't do things like that.
No, but then I think, you know, if I done the Ho'oponopono and people see it's I'm feeling good with it and I'm looking better and things go right, then people want to know more about it.
Yeah, now that way it works, But if you're not using it yourself and you're trying to get somebody else to use it because you think they need it instead of you, then you have problems.
Well, if I'm enthusiastic about something, I can't help talking about it.
And I think the best way is when it's so much part of your life, people just notice it, and you don't have to. You just there's going to be a lecture or something. You can go and see it yourself.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So, are you going to do some more workshops in Europe or only in Amsterdam?
I only look over here.
You only look
to
over
what
here.
looks like tomorrow, and that's beyond me. I have no idea. Yeah. We will see what happens here, because it's like an unfolding. We're just going to watch it unfold. So I'm not so much concerned about tomorrow as I am at this moment. Yeah.
So, how do you call the course really? Because there are also workbooks, and I have one workbook over here.
Yeah. This is called self-identity through Ho'oponopono, which means that if you are willing to clean, then you can come to know who you are. That's the title. Self-identity through cleaning. That's the title of the course.
And in Dutch, the title is Self-identiteit door Ho'oponopono, is almost the same. And how is your foundation called?
It's called the Foundation of I, Inc., Freedom of the Cosmos. It's a non-profit organization started by Morna. Morna was the kahuna lapa'au for this organization. And so it's a non-profit, it's an education base. We're not a church of any kind. We don't have membership. We only have a board, but so nobody's part of our organization. We say to people, all right, we're going to teach you, bye, as opposed to teach you and hold on to you. Yeah, we don't do that.
So, but you care.
Oh yeah, we care so much that we do a review training. Some people have taken the review 300 or 400 times, but the cost is so low that people can come back, as opposed to making money out of it. We don't do it. See, for example, most of the people in Hawaii don't make any money off of this. Most of them are volunteers. Yeah.
Well, I think the price in Holland is cheap as well. I think,
lucky you.
Yeah. Well,
in America, it's almost 270, but that's a drop in the bucket. Yeah.
Yeah. But the foundation has to exist, so that costs money. So
but the foundation only exists because the cleaning allows it to.
Yeah.
So you're putting freedom first, and then once that becomes, everything else you need comes. If you don't put that first and put money first, you're not gonna last.
Yeah. So can you tell us more about Morna?
Yeah. Morna was when she was about 2. She had a dog. The dog got hit by a horse. Trolley in those days, the horses would pull the cart, broke the dog's back. So Morna knew how to heal this dog. And then
Morna is the person that
founded the organization. Yeah. In 1983, she was given a very rare gift, and that was she was honored as a living treasure of Hawaii.
A living treasure of Hawaii.
You have to be alive, as opposed to wait to, She and I gave several courses at the United Nations. She was a very quiet person. For example, for the 10 years I knew her, she never told me what to do. She didn't say you should do the training this way or this way or this way. She was just doing her cleaning, And
she was doing the work,
and one's willing to do the cleaning, and the other person can unfold, as opposed to, I think you need for me to be around as your head kahuna to tell you what to do,
So you have been working with her for a long time.
Yeah, 10 years. I've been almost 20 years now doing this cleaning. I was trained as a psychologist, but this is an easier way to go, so you don't get burned out, You're just taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think the psychologists in the whole world should learn something about this, because it's a beautiful way to...
Only in a sense that that they won't get burned out in the process of working with people. Otherwise, they get dumped on, and by the time they're 7 years, at least in America, by the time psychologists 7 years into practice, they're gone. They're burned out. They got problems of their own. They walk around hunchback. But this process is you're allowing the divine source in you to do it, and you're just a conduit.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so Morna started the foundation, and you worked with her for 10 years, and then she died.
She transitioned. Transition. There's no such thing as death. It's like graduating on to the next level.
Beautiful.
So she transitioned, and then now we have people who are responsible, who can do this on their own. So we're actually setting it up in a way that you don't need some head person, that people can become, they can talk directly to God, and so they can be their own kahunas,
So in a way they are kahunas,
to themselves,
And well, I didn't meet Morna I don't know her, but I heard many stories about her. And are there any books about her, or did anybody write?
I think there are articles about her. So if you're interested in that, Herta would have that, or our head Honolulu office could do that.
Or they are existing in Hawaii. Or,
yes,
yeah?
or you can go up on the internet. You can access material about more on the internet.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have an internet, a website from?
Yeah.
Do you know that one by heart?
It's called ho'oponopono.org, HOOPONOPONO.org.
I guess it will later be shown, so
Yeah.
it's easier
Yeah.
to remember, because
Yeah.
this is a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot to be learned, I think, and from this different way of approaching problems and errors and learning to forgive.
Yeah.
So
Basic material you can do in probably an hour or two. That's what I'm going to do on Friday of next week. The material is really simple. And when you take the training provides more of how to do it. But how to do it is not as important as the fact that it's you that needs to do it. If you're in a relationship, you can't wait up on the other person. You got a long wait.
You can't wait
up on the other person. See, in a relationship, we keep thinking the other person's going to save us. Somehow we can change.
Or the other person is going to change sometime.
Yes, yeah. But when you change, the other person has to change.
Yeah.
So this is about taking good care of you, and relationships work. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're tough. Relationships are pretty tough to be in.
Yes, I noticed.
Yes. Well, I noticed too. This is why I don't clean it. It makes it really difficult. Yeah.
So
Because people only come into your life to bug you, huh?
They only come into your life to bug you.
Yeah,
oh my God! Yeah.
Right, to say to you, wake up, huh?
So I have to be happy with my buggers, or how do you call that? People that bug you.
Yeah, you have to look at them as what the Hawaiians call makan, as a gift. Yeah,
It's a gift.
Some days you don't want that gift. You say, hello.
I don't want this gift.
Yeah.
Thank you.
After I handle this gift, you can show up. But otherwise, yeah.
But I have too many gifts sometimes.
Yes. Oh yeah. When one gift comes, like Shakespeare said, they come in the thousands. Yeah.
In the thousands.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
So on Friday the 15th you will have a lecture, and you will explain what it is all about, the Ho'oponopono.
I will not only explain, but I will actually show them how it can be done. And it's simple.
And the lecture as well? You will show them how it can be done?
Yes, I'm going to show them what a problem is, where the problem is, and how they can delete that problem.
It's like a computer.
Yeah, it's like a computer, or it's like a river that runs by and it just moves away the soil and the dirt, or like the rain that comes on and washes the sky, so that you don't have all this pollutant. It's a cleaning process of washing away hurtful memories. Yeah.
Washing away hurtful memories.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
Because it sounds a lot easier then.
Oh yeah. Right. It doesn't require any intellect. This work we're gonna see how important the role of the intellect is, but it's not going to require too much thinking. Yeah.
So people that are intellectuals have a problem learning the Ho'oponopono.
Oh, no. They're not going to have so much of a problem learning it. It's applying it that's difficult. Yeah. It's easy to learn.
Applying it.
We teach trees. We teach oceans. You can teach anything how to do this. It's like this table, this mic. It's listening. This is real. This is they have personalities of their own. Some mics work better than others. I've done thousands, literally, of interviews. One mic will just fall, and it says, "I don't want to be part of this stuff." So everything has feeling. So we have to take that into consideration. Yeah.
Everything has feeling.
Everything. This mic. I don't know who's ever spoken to this mic before, but whoever was there before, that you have to clean all of this, so that the mic will feel, oh, okay, I feel much better now, as opposed to being, oh no, some more junk. Yeah.
So then I'm busy all day to clean things up.
No, once you clean for yourself, it cleans for everything.
Oh, and then it cleans up by itself.
Yes.
First me.
Yeah, always you. Because everything's waiting up on you to get your stuff together.
So I don't have to clean the mic, I have to clean me. That's okay.
Yeah, so before I came, I would do my cleaning. So I'm saying to everything around, if I have been arrogant, I'm sorry. If I'm coming with stuff that you don't want to hear, I'm sorry. So, you're racing. Because the people who are going to see it, we don't want them to get ill by this, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Nice one. Well, I think there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's a good idea to... are there some more things to explain to the people?
I'm fine.
You're fine.
Ja.
Oké, ik kan de mensen zeker aanraden om naar de lezing te komen op de 15e juni. In de avond in de Nieuwe Kerk in Amsterdam. Op de Dam is dat, de Nieuwe Kerk. En daar is dus de lezing van Ihaleiakala. Want de uitspraak maakt heel wat uit. Want die klanken zijn zo bijzonder in Hawaii. Dus je moet heel erg uitkijken dat het de juiste klank is. Die gaat dus de lezing geven. En Gerda van der Linden organiseert dit allemaal. En er komen ook websites, kunt u dadelijk zien. En dan kunt u informatie vragen. En de cursus heet Self-Identity Through Ho'oponopono. Het wordt in het Engels gegeven, maar er is een mogelijkheid waarschijnlijk ook om vertaling te krijgen. En er zijn ook Nederlandse werkboeken bij. En zover ik weet is de prijs 375 gulden, dus dat valt heel erg mee voor een heel weekend. En de lezing is gratis. Hè? I think the lecture is for free, wasn't it?
Yes.
I guess so, yeah.
Yes.
So that's nice.
Yes.
There are not so many things free nowadays.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Dus I really thank you for wanting to talk to me.
Well, I thank you for
it.
giving us a chance to share this.
Yeah, I'm happy. I hope people will watch it and be happy with the information you gave them.
We'll see, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
En jullie tot ziens en bedankt ook voor het kijken. Dag.
Visit our store in Amsterdam for the best seeds in Holland and feel in a state of nirvana.